Tov עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם.
יעשה שלום,
שלום,
שלום עלינו
עלינו
ועל כל ישראל.
ועל כל
יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו
ועל כל ישראל.
יעשה שלום,
יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום,
יעשה שלום,
יעשה שלום ועל כל העולם.
שמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני,
עשה אדוני
את השמיים ואת הארץ.
ושמרו
vayinafash.
Shabbat vayinafash.
Shabbat vayinafash.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabbat lasot et hashabbat לדורות המרית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית עולם.
ברוכות הבאות תחת כנפי השכינה, ברוכים הבאים תחת כנפי השכינה. May you be blessed beneath the wings of Shekhinah. Be blessed with love, be blessed with peace. ברוכות הבאות תחת כנפי השכינה, ברוכים הבאים תחת כנפי השכינה. May you be blessed beneath the wings of Shekhinah. Be blessed with love, be blessed with peace. May you be blessed beneath the wings of Shekhinah. Be blessed with love, be blessed with peace.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm going to have you take your seats so that we can get started. We gather this morning here at Congregation Micah, and we welcome you in for a number of reasons, but the most sacred of which is because two certain individual souls sit on our bima, on our pulpit, ready to become a bar and bat mitzvah. We say b'nei mitzvah. And we don't need to overthink what's going to happen. Gavin and Olivia have been working hard. They are well trained, and they will guide us through the entire experience. My name is Philip Rice. They do call me Rabbi Flip, and that is Miss Lisa Silver. And we sit in the sanctuary, a contemporary setting, ready to tell an ancient story. At Congregation Micah, we accept all people and all kinds, and we love it when new people come and observe and partake in our sacred storytelling experience. There are songs, there are programs, there are books, there are screens, all of which are tools to tell the story of the Jewish people. Because we put certain challenges before our candidates as they become b'nei mitzvah. And one of those challenges is that they learn the prayers, the stories of the Jewish people, and they stand before a community of family and friends and lead us, guide us through that experience. They're very good at this. The second challenge we ask is that they learn to chant from the Torah, to read the sacred scroll, the Bible in a scroll-like form and to interpret a little bit about what it is that they have read for you. Again, they're very good at this. We love when family participates. Again, you can try and sing along and read along with us. You can tap your toes to the best of your ability, whatever is best. You can stay in the same seats, or if you're feeling less trepidation as the service moves and at times when we stand, you can come closer. We ask, of course, please, that you keep your masks on for the majority. I'm going to let these beautiful faces be shown. And if you have a speaking part and you are up here and you want to show your beautiful face to the camera for a second, you can. But for the most part, we ask that you follow our guidelines and keep the masks over your nose so that we all are safer. We're excited, once again, to have so many people in the building, on our campus, ready to observe this ancient ritual in this contemporary, beautiful place. And to kick us off, I'm going to invite grandparents Ron and Lynn Rosenberg forward, and they're going to present Gavin and Olivia, each with a tallis.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tivanu v'yitatef b'tzitzit. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. Oh shoot. Oh yeah, we continue on page 74 with the sing of Ma Tovu.
מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. ואני ברוב חסדך אבוא ביתך, אשתחווה אל היכל קודשך ביראתך. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. ואני תפילתי לך, אדוני, את רצון אלוהים ברוב חסדך, ענני באמת אישך. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et hadam b'chokhma, uvara vo nechavim nechavim, chalulim chalulim, galui v'yadua lifnei chosei chavodecha, she'im yipateach echad mehem, o yisatem echad mehem, אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה אדוני רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות.
We continue by thanking God for our souls on page 78.
שנתת בי טהורה היא. אלוהי נשמה 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 שנתת בי טהורה, טהורה היא. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהורה, טהורה היא. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהורה היא. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהורה היא.
Please join us as we chant starting on page 80, thanking God for the miracles of everyday life. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher nata lasech bivino l'chafim b'yom u'b'layla.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokei ha'ivrim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam mabish harimim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokei kifufim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokach ha'aretz ha'chamayim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamekim mitzadei gaver.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanutein layeh koach.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavir shnei meinai u'tnuma mafakai.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tzelem Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasanu b'kurim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam utzir Yisrael b'forah.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam otir Yisrael b'divra.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidasanu b'mitzvotav v'tivanu la'asot b'divrei Torah.
Amen.
We continue together on page 88. Okay. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all.
We continue singing Psalm 150 on page 100. Please rise.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol anshama tehallelya, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol anshama tehallelya, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol anshama tehallelya, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol anshama tehallelya,
rise and turn to page 106. Yitkara v'yitkara shmei rabba Balma divarach hirute v'amlich malchute B'chaychon ufyom mechon Uvchay t'chol beit Yisrael Ba'gala uvizman Kari V'yimaru Amen Yehei shmei rabba Borach Le'olei olam Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitrama v'yinaseh v'yitajar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei kudusha barichu leilai min kol birchata v'shirata
Tushbechata v'nechemata Tamiran belma Bimaru Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue on page 110. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvarei chosech osech shalom uvarei et hakol, hamir la'aretz v'la'arim alecha berachmim, uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid, ma'aseh bereshit ma rabu ma'asecha, Adonai kulam b'chachma asita.
Malah haaretz konyanecha. Yitbarach haaretz Adonai Eloheinu. Al shabach moseh yadecha. Behold mahoro or shasita. Yitbaracha salah or chadash al zion ta'ir. V'nizkem kulanu ma'rim la'oro. Baruch atah Adonai. Yotzer ha'marot. Please read with me on page 113. Love your neighbor as yourself,
you said,
and
like
like
blind we saw, that inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we wrote, we reached
For you
down,
down in the centuries,
your
your
light
light moving before us, as we climbed, fell back, and climbed again, your Sinai of life.
Baruch atah
Atah
Adonai,
Adonai,
Habocher ba'amo Yisrael ba'ava. Shema Yisrael,
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Olecha v'kol nafshecha uv'kol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzvacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'ham v'shivtecha b'veitecha ובלכתך בדרך, ובשכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך,
למען תזכרו, עשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים אלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We continue responsively on page 121. The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore.
You shall not hate your brother or sister in your heart.
The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor, asked God?
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh. Shirachar shashibechu gelim leshimcha safar hayam yachar kulam hodu ve'imlechu ve'amru Adonai himloch leolam va'ed Adonai himloch leolam va'ed Sur Yisrael kuma bezran Yisrael Ufedechinu mecha Yehuda veYisrael Go aleinu Adonai tzivot shemo Kadosh Yisrael Baruch atah Adonai Ga Yisrael.
Please rise.
Adonai tzifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Emenotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Abraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atarav Lehoshia Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofech Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishen Elfar Michamocha Baal Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'emar atah l'hachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol Nikadesh et shemcha ba'olam Kishem shemakdashim oto b'shmei marom Kakatu al yad nivyecha V'kara ze al ze ve'amar Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh Adonai Tzivaot Meloch ol Kivodo Adir Adirenu Adonai Adonenu Ma'adir Shimcho L'charetz Baruch Atah Adonai Mimkomo Echad hu Eloheinu Hu Avinu Malkeinu Hu Moshienu Vehu Yashmienu Barachamav Le'enei Kol Chai Ani Adonai Elohechem Yimloch Adonai Le'olam Elohai Yichzion L'dor v'ador Hallelujah L'dor v'ador nagid God lecha U'netzach netzachim kedushacha naqdish V'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
We invite you to take your seats. We clearly approach God in a variety of ways here at Congregation Micah. We do through beautiful music. We do through joy and singing. We do through the authenticity of our words and our actions. And then there is the powerful time just for silence. So we're going to take a little silence now, and I invite you to think about these two beautiful people on our bima, our pulpit. I invite you to think about prayers you have for them and for yourself and for your families and friends, our community, and this whole broken world we live in. A little silence.
Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha.
So I mentioned at the beginning of our service that they were these challenges we put before our young people as they become bar bat mitzvah, and one is that they learn the prayers of the Jewish people and stand here in our sanctuary and lead a family and friend group in those prayers. I think they've done a pretty good job. What do we think? Yeah. Woo! Okay, so we also ask that they learn to read and chant from the Torah. And we're going to do that now. And so to do that, we're going to invite you, if you like, to turn to page 244. We're going to invite Barbara Lovejoy and John Lindsay to come up onto our pulpit to open our ark doors, and we will invite all of you to please rise.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kamasecha, malchucha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltacha b'chol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz lamo yitain, Adonai yivarech et hamo v'shalom. Av harachamim hetiva v'rtzonocha et Zion, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, ki v'cha lavad bataknu, melech ramanisa Adon olamim. Ki mitzion tetze Torah, ki mitzion tetze Torah, udvar Adonai merushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Lamo Yisrael b'kidushato.
What we like to do now is form a generational line. So we're going to have Ron and Lynn Rosenberg come back. Barbara and John, you're going to stay where you are. And Amanda and David are going to come over. So why do we do this? We do this because we learn that Moshe kibel Torah mi-Sinai, that Moses received the Torah at Mount Sinai. And you stand here before a little mini Mount Sinai. And the best part of the story is Moses didn't just keep it for himself in this beautiful closet we call an ark. No, he shared it with Joshua, his disciple, who passed it down to the prophets, who passed it down to the wise people in every generation who are willing to accept it. And so it makes its way through your grandparents and through your parents into your hands. And we don't just share it with you. We share it with all these beautiful people that are masked up today, here to celebrate you. So after, I get a second Torah too. After the Torah makes its way into your hands and you sing Shema with us, we're going to march it around the sanctuary. And as COVID carefully as you can, you're welcome to touch the Torah. And we do believe that these two are walking Torahs. So you can give them a high five or a fist pump or whatever elbow bump you need to do as well. All right? I'm going to let go right here.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadolul Adonai iti, Uneromama, Shemo Yavdav. Lecha Adonai Hagedula Vagavura Vatiferet Vanetzach Vahaon Ki Ho Bashamayim Uvaretz Ho Bashamayim Uvaretz Adonai Hamamlach בכל ראש. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד.
Torah has found her seat. We invite you to be seated as well. So Gavin and Olivia are going to be reading from Parashat Hayei Sarah. That means Torah portion, the life of Sarah. And I'm going to let them tell you more about that. It's the same Torah portion that is read all over the world this morning by different Jews. You're going to put your left hand here. Now, in order for him to do this, we like people to come forward and give honor to the Torah by blessing it. And we've got some lovely, wonderful, large groups of people to do this. Our first are going to be our grandparents again. I'm sorry I made you sit down. We're going to invite Ron and Lynn Rosenberg and Barbara Lovejoy and John Lindsay back up. And the good news is no one has to be afraid because Gavin and Olivia know what they're doing, so they can chant with you. Come on up here. If you'll come on this side.
Hey, you ready? You ready, guys? Baruch Adonai HaBorah, Baruch Adonai HaBorah Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher baruch banu mikol ha'amim, v'na'atah lanu et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. V'chayu chayei Sarah me'ah shena v'izrim, shena v'sheva shenim shanei chayei Sarah. V'tamat Sarah b'kiryat arba hi Hebron be'heretz Kanyaan. V'yahavo Avraham lisfod Sarah v'livkota. V'yakim Avraham mal penei mato. Vayadiel el b'nei chei lemor. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher natah lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natah b'chotenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Give this guy some love if you want. In honor of our second Aliyah. We are going to invite aunts, uncles, and cousins. We're looking for Toby and Susan, Madison and Sydney Moore, Michelle, Chris, and Jake Jones, Jeff and Rachel Schwartz. Matt, I know, is still here, and we're going to wave to Stephanie and Blake Eisenberg.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's this again? Baruch Adonai HaMavorach, Baruch Adonai HaMavorach Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher barakah banu mikol ha'amim, v'na'atah lanu et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah. Yer v'shervav Enohim, Emachem, Torbo, Le, Adzat, Bever, Amechem, Vebvava, Meto, Miopani, Vayanu, Vinay, Chet, 8, Avraham, Lamor, Lo. Shemehu, Adonai, Nosei, Elohim, Atah, Betochenu, Bemichar, Bevoyanu, Bevor, Et, Metecha, Eish, Memnu, Kirvara, Et, Yelilo, Memche, Michvor, Metecha. Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'chotenu, baruch atah Adonai, notena Torah.
Batting second this morning, Miss Olivia Schwartz. Put your hand right here. Can I grab my hand through here, right hand. And we are looking for our next group of people, which is going to be great aunts and uncles, cousins, Jerry and Eileen Lieberman, Andrea Feldman, Davis and Sandy Abrams, Jason and Allison Schneider. This is the one you want.
Yes.
Come down here. Yes, please come in. It's all right, great. Come close.
Baruch Hu
Hu et Adonai HaBarak.
Baruch Adonai HaMevarach
Le'olam Bo'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'naseh lanu es torato. Baruch atah Adonai, notena Torah.
Vayakam Avraham, vayishtahu lam haaretz lifnei chet, vayadaber itam lemor, im yesh et nafshechem, likbor etz meti milfanai, shema'u li ufigu li, ba'efron ben sohar, vayiten li et ma'arad hamachpelah, asher lo, asher biksei sadechu, Chesef malei itnanali betochechem lachusav kaver.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emes, v'chayei olam atah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, notena Torah.
You did good. All right, now we need some friend groups. Are you ready? We're looking for the Lapiduses and the Middlebergs and the Frosians and the Friedmans and the Billers and the Goroviches and the Dombrows and the Polikoffs. Coming forward.
front. Better look. I got you. Fun size. We're gonna line up like you're attractive. Okay. Here we go.
Getting good for the camera. You're not in it.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. That's good. We're gonna rock this beat. Rock it. Ready? Some people in the back.
Ba'efron Yoshev betoch b'nei chet, Vayan Ephron chachiti et Avraham, Beznei b'nei chet lahu, Be'esha iro lemor, Lo Adoni Shema'eni hasadeh natati lach, Ba'amara asher bo lecha natati cha, Le'onei b'nei ami natati cha lecha, Kavor metecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, b'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Good job. Good job, Olivia. Go the other way. Olivia's gorgeous.
It is with the Torah out that we believe God to be especially attentive, and we turn our thoughts, our prayers to those people in this community, other people you may know of, and our whole world that seems to be sick, to the ill, to the people who are in need of a blessing for recovery. Our community likes to mention specifically at this time Steve Geringer and Paul Richter, Crystal Miller, Charlie Baugh, and Dick Eskin, Steve Gould, Bibi Weinstein, and Alex Morgan, Bill Drongowski, Edrio Ragusin, Janice Grossman, Jill Gutnick, Florence Wittenstein-Stapperstein, Mike Harris, Alan Mandel, Caitlin Kopelman, Michael Grau, Karen Cotlano, and Jessica Waldron. If there's any names that I've neglected to mention or people you know of in this or other communities that are in need of a blessing for healing, we invite you to say those names aloud.
Susan Bernheim.
It's got labeled in it.
Estelle Finer.
We think about all people in need of a blessing for healing, and I think page 253.
Yes.
Mi sheberach avotenu makor habracha laimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu makor habracha lehavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Not everybody got to see inside the scroll. And so what I'm going to have you do is please rise momentarily, and I'll give you a look.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei b'nei Yisrael api Adonai b'yad Moshe.
Y'all may be seated. So in addition to the Torah portion, there are also prophetical texts that are matched up that thematically often match our Torah portion. And so here we're going to hear a little bit more from then about Sarah, our matriarch, and how she passes away this week in history, how she's buried. And then aged Abraham wants to find sort of a proper wife for his son, Isaac, so that the future of the family will continue. And this great promise is sort of secured. The story we hear in the prophetic section, which comes from 1 Kings, the beginning of the book, tells more of King David, who is old in years, and the way Solomon was chosen sort of as his successor. The message brings this opening story in the first book of Kings that David has reigned for quite some time, 40 years. We're talking about, 1010 before the Common Era. And he has now become somewhat feeble. And his son, the heir apparent, does not really want to wait for his father's demise before he declares himself king. But a sort of counterfaction favors Solomon, a younger son. And we learn how David is persuaded to name him as the next king. You will not hear the whole story, but they're going to bless, and they're going to read a little bit for us. So I'm going to invite the two of you forward.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher barecha b'neviim tovim v'ratzah v'divreihem hani emerim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habahir b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo uvi'im ha'emet vazedek. King David was old, well advanced in years, and even though they covered him with bedclothes, he never felt warm. For this reason, his servants suggested that they seek out a young virgin for the king to serve him, to be his nurse. She would lie close to him and warm the king. So they searched all the territory of Israel for a beautiful girl, and they found Abishag the Shumamite, and brought her to the king. The girl was exceedingly beautiful. She became the king's nurse and attended to him, but the king had no sexual knowledge of her.
Now Adonijah, son of Haggith, exalted himself beyond his station, proclaiming, I will be king. He raised an escort of chariots, horsemen, and 50 men to run before him. He had been born after Absalom. Never in his life had his father rebuked him by asking him, why did you act in such a way? Also, he was very handsome. He met with Joab, son of Zeruiah, and Abiathar, the priest, and they agreed to support him. But Zadok the priest, Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, Nathan the prophet, Shimei, friend of David, and the elite warriors did not side with Adonijah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Sor kol halamim, sadik b'chol hararod, halhel ena eman, homer v'osei, hamdaber kayem, shekol devarav emet tzedek, al haTorah, ve'al avodah, ve'al hanvaim, Ve'el Shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu liktushav limnucha l'chavod utifaret. Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umfarchim otach yitbarach shimcha b'ficho tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai m'chadesh haShabbat.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
The Torah portion Olivia and I chanted for you this morning is called The Life of Sarah. Oddly, it is all about her death. Sarah and Abraham are the first Jews. After Sarah's death, Abraham wants to acquire a burial site for himself that included a field, cave, and trees. He wanted the burial site to be able to be buried by his loved ones, especially Sarah, who was buried in the cave of the field of Machpelah. This burial site was given to Abraham by God and reflects the tension between his temporary status in the land of Israel and the promise God that has repeatedly made to him, which was a divine promise of land for his offspring. In my words, I would sum it up in that Abraham wants to be buried by his loved ones and how Sarah's death is mourned by Abraham. Also, Sarah's death leads Abraham to think about her legacy, which caused him to think about his own. I remember traveling with my dad to New York for an unveiling for his grandfather, Leonard. We walked through the cemetery and said the appropriate prayers. Also, I visited my grandfather Gary's grave, who is my dad's dad. This is the man who I was named after. This Torah portion made me think about all the markers of the graves of my ancestors. It has also made me think about legacies in general. I hope my legacy is that people remember and respect me. Micah is like my extended family. I feel comfortable expressing my religion here. It is also cool to learn more about Judaism in such a positive, open environment. I would first like to thank Rabbi Lori and Rabbi Flip for mentoring my Jewish experience to this point and helping us make this opportunity possible. I appreciate both of you guys for teaching me the religion of Judaism and helping me learn the language of Hebrew and being able to recite the prayers I was able to do today. Secondly, I would like to show my gratitude to my tutor, Miss Rebecca, who through this process of learning my prayers and Torah portion through the ceremony made sure I have everything down before I got up here this morning. I really appreciate her making time out of her day to teach me things about Hebrew, and also thank you for teaching me during Wednesday school. Also, I would like to thank my teachers for helping me improve my knowledge of this religion. Also, thank you to Miss Lisa for helping lead this wonderful service with her beautiful music. I would also like to show my appreciation for all my friends for being here and supporting me during a special time in my life. Thank you for showing how much you guys care for me and for helping me celebrate this wonderful day. I could not be where I am right now without you all. I appreciate everyone who came from out of town to support me for this day. I would now like to thank Biz, who's my nanny for the last couple of years and did so much for me. I appreciate you so much for being here today, and thank you for supporting me these last few years. We want to share our thanks also to all of my relatives who were able to make it today and those who have supported me since day one. We would especially like to thank Uncle Matt and Stephanie and Cousin Blake for being here and always coming to visit and showing your support for me. I also love coming to Atlanta to visit you guys and going to sporting events with y'all. Also, go Mets. We would like to now thank Aunt Susan, Uncle Toby, Cousin Sydney, and Madison. Thank you guys for always being there for me and supporting me for my whole life. I love seeing you guys on vacation, and it's always a blast hanging with you all. We would now like to thank Grandma Lynn and Poppy Ron for being such amazing grandparents. Thank you guys for always taking Liv and I on all those amazing summer trips, which I always had a great time at. I always appreciate you guys coming to visit to see us and also when you guys come for special events. Thank you both for always being there and supporting me for my whole life. Next, we would like to thank Papa John and Nanny for being such amazing grandparents also. It is always so fun when we get to see you both on trips or when you guys come and visit us. You both always put a smile on my face and make me laugh, especially Nanny, which is where she got her nickname Crazy Old Nanny. You both are so supportive of me and have always been there for me. We would now like to thank Uncle Jeff, Aunt Rachel, and Cousin Andrew, Grace, and Tessa. It is always fun when we get to see you guys, and thank you so much for supporting us. You guys have always been there throughout our life. Next, I would like to thank Aunt Michelle, CJ, and Cousin Jake. Thank you guys for coming to support us today. It is always a pleasure when we get to see you all when we can. Thank you for always being there. I would now like to thank my partner up here today and my awesome sister, Olivia. You are the best sister I could ask for. You always bring emotion and excitement to my life. You, most of the time, make my day better whenever I am with you. By most of the time, I mean when you don't have your mood swings and have those days when you turn into a bear with how crazy you are when you are in a mood. There's always that time of the week when I come home from practice, my parents say to me, "Don't poke the bear." That is when I know not to mess with you. Besides, those days you're always a joy to be around, and I love coming to watch your sports games. You are also there by my side, supporting me during important events and even as simple as my sports games. You always make me laugh. Oh, shoot, wrong one. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's good. No, hold up. My bad. Oh, yeah, you're always there supporting me during important events and even as simple as my sports games. You always make me laugh with all your jokes and your craziness. Also, thank you for taking care of me on those days we were home alone by cooking food, which, by the way, you're a very talented cook. I could not have asked for a better sister. Now, I would like to thank the mother who birthed me. You are the best. You are the best mother ever. You are always there for me when I need someone the most. You always ask how my day was at school and make sure everything is going good at school and out of school. You are always there to support me and care for me. You always try your best, even with work, to try and make it to my sports games as much as possible. You are one of the hardest working parents I know. You make me feel safe and comfort when I'm with you, except for sometimes in the car, where I always make sure my seatbelt is tight, trying to avoid another one of your car accidents. 22 or 21 exact. I would not be where I am today without you, and thank you for always trying to make my life the best it can possibly be. You are the best mom a son can ever ask for. I love you so much. Now I would like to thank my incredible father. Thank you for being the best dad ever. You are always there for me and always know how to take care of me. I love how you're always prepared and bring things none of us would know to bring. Thank you for helping me become the man I am today. You always teach me how to be a better person in life and help me teach things I'm going to need to know how to do later in life. I always love our car rides to school and after practice when we just talk about sports on the way home. I also love watching our favorite sports teams play together and talking about what happened during the game after the game is over. You are always there for my sporting events and always try and help me become a better athlete. You always make me laugh even when you roast me in front of my friends. I appreciate how much you care for me, and you're the best dad I could ever have asked for. I love you so much. Finally, I would like to thank everyone for coming this morning to help celebrate this important event and achievement in my sister and I's life. Thank you.
Good Shabbos, everyone. Gavin joins me here today in thanking all of you for being here to celebrate this milestone in our lives. The Torah portion, Chaya Sarah, continues by discussing the grief Abraham had over the loss of his beloved Sarah. When Sarah died, Abraham wanted her to be buried in the right place. He wanted it to be special. While finding her a burial site, he reflected over her life and the impact it had on him and others. This portion is not just about how Sarah died, but rather how we all can remember the people who have touched our hearts throughout our lives. Often when my parents speak about their fathers, they tell us stories about their lives, not their deaths. I hope that people will remember me as being kind and always willing to help others. That is partly why Gavin and I did the Mitzvah project, raising money for the Humane Society, an organization that helps foster dogs find new homes. So far, we have raised over $1,200 and still going. One of my favorite things about Micah is the community and how everyone is so close, like one big family. Ever since we started here, I've always felt welcomed, and this place has made me so proud of my religion. Now, I'd like to thank all the people who have helped me reach this day. Gavin, none of this could even be possible without you by my side. We've learned, failed, and succeeded together through this journey. I know I haven't been the kindest sister during this whole experience, but all through this and life, I just wanted you to succeed and be perfect. Whenever people would ask if we're twins, I used to be upset, but now I realize that is a compliment. You're the most supportive, protective, caring, annoying, but thoughtful brother anyone could ask for. Even when you don't show it, I know you care about me very much, and that is why you're always there for me. You know how to make me laugh when I'm crying, and know how to make me cry when I'm laughing. You've always been there for my sports, school, girl problems, and advice. I may be tough on you sometimes, but that's just because I love you. And you need someone to tell you look like a hot mess. But putting all that aside, you're my best friend, and I would not want to share this day with anyone else. Thank you. Mom, you've been my biggest supporter from day one. I could never be the person I am today without you. I love our relationship, and now that my style has evolved just beyond sporty clothes, I also love your closet. Now, you also said, I always wished you were more into fashion, but now that I am, you're just thankful we're not the same shoe size. More than your clothes, I love just being around you. Instead of feeling like hanging out with a mom, I feel like I'm with a friend. The more I grow up, the more I've gained more of your personality, though I can't decide if that's good or bad. I sure know Dad can't handle the two of us. Every day is an adventure with you, not knowing which accent or personality you will show. Even though you may be crazy, that's what we all love about you. Thank you for always being there when I need you most and making me laugh when I'm sad. I love you so much. Dad, you have been my coach all throughout life, but for sports and regular life. You have been my biggest fan in the stands, cheering me on for anything I try at. We both have strong personalities and like to show it very much. I may show it when I get emotional, and you show it because you feel like it. Because of this, people don't like to fight with us. Also, because we always win. Like in sports or trash talking to Gavin. You always have pushed me to succeed in anything I try out. In basketball and soccer, it's helpful and encouraging, but in life, not so much. That's why I love our sit-down talks, usually after a fight, but they're still meaningful. What I'm trying to say is that all throughout my life, we've helped each other grow in becoming the best father and daughter. And on your part, I can say you have done an amazing job being a supportive father and coach throughout my life. And without you pushing me so much, this day could not happen. Thank you. Next, I'd like to thank Grandma Lynn and Poppy Ron. You both have made my life so special, fulfilling it with all types of adventures and opportunities. I'll never forget the summer trips you took Gavin and I on, from Legoland to Grand Canyon, or even as recent as Niagara Falls. You made me look forward to every summer and fulfilling that excitement with fun and education, with memories that will last a lifetime. Poppy, thank you for always being there to keep us on track, literally and figuratively. None of these trips could happen without you. Grandma, I've always known we've had a special connection, not just from you knowing the time I'd be born, but also the number of interests we've had in common. From cooking to baking and love of travel, and many more. Thank you also for guiding me through my Jewish heritage with the gifts you've given me for this day. I could never be doing this without y'all. Next, I'd like to thank Nanny and Papa John. You both have made every trip so fun and memorable. You both definitely spoil me, but not just with gifts, but with love. I always feel special when around the both of you. Papa John, you've joined the family recently, but when spending time with you, I feel like you've always been a part of this family. I love cooking and spending time at the beach with you, and will forever keep those moments in memory. Nanny, I have a lot to say about you. You're one of the craziest people I've ever met, but you have the biggest heart, and there's no point when I don't feel loved by you. You manage to make every moment fun and enjoyable, and that is what I'll remember most about you. You have made Gavin and I laugh so many times to the point where we were all crying on the floor. You both have made this journey so special and could not imagine it without y'all. Thank you to all my best friends for being by my side since day one. You guys have been my biggest supporters, and I could not have the confidence I do without y'all. Thank you to both the rabbis, Cantor Lisa, and all my past Hebrew teachers. None of this could even be possible without you guys. I could never have learned this from a better set of teachers. Without the help of all you, this day could not be possible. Thank you to all my camp friends for coming out and supporting me for this day. I know I'll be supporting y'all for your big day as well. Camp has made my summer so special, and it could not be fulfilled without all of you. Thank you to all my family and extended family for being so supportive of me through this whole process. You all have been my #1 fans and supporters. I'd like to end off by saying thank you to everyone who has joined me and my family today in celebrating our B'nai Mitzvah. I appreciate everyone's support and encouragement. Thank you.
A few breaths, be good. All right, so now we just kind of shower you with some gifts and some love, and because you're in Music City, that first gift comes by way of a song.
So Gavin and Olivia, before I sing this blessing for you, I want to say that I really enjoyed working with you at the beginning of this process when we were together on Zoom, and you guys were really helpful to each other, and that was really nice to see, and you always had a sparkle in your eye. And I want to just add that I think both of you might have a career as deadpan stand-up comedians after this. Just saying. But here's a little blessing for you.
May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom, and may the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May you see your world created in your lifetime. May you see your visions come to be. May your hope touch every generation to come. These are the prayers we have for you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom. May the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May you be blessed with understanding, with wisdom and compassion in your heart. May your tongue be filled with song. May your lips sing out for justice. These are the prayers we have for you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom, and may the world you live in be the world of your dreams.
Everyone who has a bar bat mitzvah here at Congregation Micah signs the bar and bat mitzvah scroll. And as Gavin does so, we've got our education director, Ms. Julie Greenberg, coming to give some other gifts.
Okay, Olivia and Gavin, you did it. Mazel tov, really, to both of you. Most sincerely, thank you. And I share in the pride of your family. It continues to be my pleasure to watch you grow up. And I know I say this, and I mean it. I feel like the Jewish world got stronger this morning because of your efforts, right? You obviously took this very seriously and brought such intention to your studies. It makes us really happy, and we do want to shower you with some gifts. This is also the time where I get to say this is not the end, right? It's just another beginning for you, and so we look forward to your continued involvement, and we've got some ways that you can do that. First of all, I'll just show you one set. So we have a gift certificate for you when you decide you want to travel to Israel. You can do it through NIFTY, our youth group, or the Nashville Communities Get Connected trip, which we will be saving you a seat. We also have your certificate that honors this day and has your signature there for both of you. And also inside, we have a Kiddush cup for you, so that all of the future Passover Seders and Shabbat dinners that you want to celebrate with each other and your friends, you can. It's a miracle, right, Mom and Dad, that you get to see them work together this well on this day. And so we say thank you. I'm going to seek out Crazy Nanny at the reception so that I feel like I can get some life lessons from you all. But we do want you to stay involved. Miss Rebecca, whom you lovingly mentioned, was a student here once upon a time, right? And went away and came back to become a teacher again. So we are always going to save a spot for you. And once you get to be this age and a little bit older, Rabbi Flip and I like to take our show on the road. And we want to take you to New York, and we want to take you to Alabama, and we want to take you to the Holy Land. And I know you're headed to the other Holy Land soon, Tucson, Arizona, the other desert that I share with your parents in the background. Anyway, thanks for making it such a wonderful, special day for all of us. Mazel tov. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Julie. And now, perhaps of most significance, don't be afraid, but we're going to give the microphone to your parents, Amanda, David.
Good afternoon, everyone.
It's morning.
Ooh, good morning, sorry. Dave and I would first like to thank Rabbis Lori and Flip, Cantor Lisa, Miss Julie, and their tutor Rebecca for helping to guide the kids through this entire process and help prepare them for today. We would also like to thank our parents for instilling in us the importance of carrying on the Jewish traditions and being there for us throughout our lives, as well as our siblings for always being by our side. Thank you to our extended family and friends who traveled near and far to be here with us during this special time. And last, but definitely not least, a big shout out to our family for everything you do on a daily basis to make Nashville our true home. David, from the beginning, you have inspired me to be a better parent. The way you are as a father has always come so naturally to you, and I'm beyond grateful that I have you by my side to share this journey we call life with. I knew this day would come, but it arrived way before I knew it, and now I'm standing here watching you become a bat and a bar mitzvah. The feelings I have surrounding this event and the way both of you have grown into these incredible adults right before our eyes is indescribable. When you were born, I was scared to death to be a mom, fearing what the future held and what I needed to do in order to raise a child. Needless to say, within 12 months, both of you came in this world and my fears were multiplied. Why, you ask? Because I think there are all these standards of what parents should do to raise good kids, and I didn't want to fail you. However, over time, I slowly realized that loving you and setting a good example was all I needed to do in order to allow both of you to fly with your own two wings. Gavin, you arrived 2.5 months early, ready to take on the world. Cautious because you were a preemie, your dad and I didn't know what to expect. You beyond surpassed our wildest dreams. You were a go-getter from the beginning, fearless to try anything new, and had the kindest heart around. Even when you were the youngest of all your friends, you always managed to hold your own. And when you started your journey at MBA, you jumped in and with both feet never looked back. You jumped in with both feet and never looked back. Between your enthusiasm for all sports, whether you're playing or watching them, and your intense drive to do well in school, you still managed to find the time to be with us for family time and socialize with your friends. And, with girls too. We love you, Gavin, with all our hearts, and can't wait to see what the future holds for you. Dream big, son, and never stop believing in yourself, because anything is possible when you put your heart and soul into it. We're so proud of you. Olivia, you were quite the surprise to your father and I when we found out you were going to be born only 12 months and 2 days after your brother. You came into this world at 10:31 a.m. on 10/31, and we knew right away you were going to be special. A little freakish, but special. You always commanded an audience and loved being front and center from the beginning. Your brother was your everything, and though the poor kid couldn't get a word in edgewise, the two of you were stuck at the hip right from the moment you could walk. Whether it was playing dress up, creating a band, playing sports, or reading books, you made sure he was right by your side. During those moments, I realized that you had each other's backs right from the start, and my fears of raising two kids this close together started to dissipate.
I so admire your lively spirit, intense creativity, adventurous side, and kind nature. You've been another mother hen since the beginning. From your incredible cooking and baking skills, thank God, because I'm not, to your desire to take care of others and help with various tasks. Whether you're playing sports, getting together with friends, or attending school, your bright personality always shines through. I cherish our time together. Sweet girl. And can't believe you finally appreciate and partake in my fashion and girly interests with me. I really thought it was never going to happen. Olivia L., we're so proud of you, today and every day, and without a doubt know you will make your mark on this world. Gavin, Olivia, never stop taking care of one another because the bond you share is extremely rare. You may argue and annoy one another, but at the end of the day, your dad and I see the love and bond that you have. Always know, no matter what, promise to be the other one's rock through life. We love you and we're so proud of you.
You cried at my part.
Good job. All right. A little levity here. So how about, I'm going to ask for, I feel like I got a live studio audience here, those viewing at home. How about a few minutes, just a round of applause for these two kids who did a great job today. Thank you. So good. Excellent. Well, good Shabbos. I can't believe we finally got here. We had a few adjustments to make. We might have had delays by a couple months, but here we are, and I'm so proud of how Gavin and Olivia have rolled with the punches. In a way, I'm glad that this happened for both of you, as you've handled it with grace, and you managed the disappointments and the expectations, and you rolled with it with strength and great character at such a young age. If the last 2 years has taught us anything, it's that we need to be adaptable. And that is one thing that the Jewish people have always had to do, to not only to survive, but to thrive. This is a valuable lesson for you both. It's a remarkable trait that I think both of you have, and I'm proud of you both for the resilience and adaptability. Gavin and Olivia, Olivia and Gavin. They've always been a package deal. You're cheating, don't read what I wrote. From the beginning, you guys have always been with each other, and you didn't know life without the other. I guess that's what happens when you guys were born 12 months and 2 days apart. You might have heard that. It's a theme. You really, truly have always had each other's backs. Well, maybe a few times, maybe you've had each other's throats. But mostly there is comfort in between. While they often don't like to admit it, they have always rooted for each other and always been each other's biggest fans. But even more importantly, they've been each other's best friends. Now, enough about the two of you. Now, time to thank Mom. You have taken on all of the planning and the coordinating by yourself. No, seriously, all of the coordinating by herself. Except for the friends and, of course, the secret helper crews that she has spread out throughout town running around doing things. Probably half of you have done so. But thank you. You've made this weekend an incredible one for the kids that they'll always remember. And while not everybody could join us here, it's nice to finally be able to celebrate with loved ones in person again. I'm just as excited as everyone to experience tonight, as literally I have no idea what's going to happen. So don't ask me if you need some details.
Smiley face.
That's a smile. Amanda and the kids have already thanked so many of you, and I would also like to thank everyone. For those of you with us in person, thank you for coming from great distances as far as Washington State, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, or some places closer like New York or Atlanta and Ocean Isle Beach. But thank you all for making the trip. I know it's not easy these days, and we really appreciate it. For those of you back home, we miss you, we love you, and hope you are well. As the man and the kids focus on many of you here with us today, I would like to touch on the loved ones who are no longer with us, especially because of the parsha they read today about Sarah's death it's important for us to remember those who aren't with us. Both my father, Gary, and Amanda's dad, Marvin, are no longer with us in person, but they're here with us in spirit and have been with us as we've raised Gavin and Olivia throughout their lives. Amanda's dad, Marvin, was alive long enough to meet both Gavin and Olivia before he passed. One of his greatest pleasures was visiting us here in Nashville and the kids plopping down on his lap as he chuckled along with them as they brought laughter and joy to Papa Merv. Whenever we were eating steak, Papa Merv is with us, smiling down as his love for meat has passed down to his grandkids. Just don't try the hot plate trick with them. They've been schooled. As I reflect on how much I miss my father, it makes me happy to be able to be here for both Gavin and Olivia on their big day. Don't cry, Mom. My father, Gary, passed away when I was just a boy, but he is with me every day, and I am constantly reminded of him whenever I say Gavin's name, as he is named in his honor. It's an honor that Gavin represents quite well as the man he's become. I would also like to call attention to the kids' great-grandparents who have also passed. On this day, Amanda and I think about our grandparents, Sydney and Beth Schwartz, Leonard and Natalie Goldstein, Joe and Edith Eisenberg, Arnold and Marion Wallman, who instilled our values of Judaism and fostered the traditions we still partake in today. As we reflect on our families, I look to both of you to understand your roles in the Jewish community. Today is a major step in your development, which doesn't end here, but is rather the first step in your life as an adult Jew. You bear the burden of representing our family and our religion in the community as you go on with your lives. We are aligned in our responsibilities to help those less fortunate in our community and in the world. No pressure. One of the greatest joys in life as a parent is when you receive unsolicited praise for your kids. As wonderful as it is to hear about success in the classroom or on the basketball court, it is even more joyous to hear that Gavin and Olivia are good people. I've been told that they are kind, gentle, and considerate. So who am I to object? I love hearing how they look out for each other and they look out for other people in their classrooms to be sure that they are included and not left out. They are viewed as leaders and positive contributors to the cultures of their schools and the community. What else could a parent ask for? Olivia, don't smile. Whatever you do, don't smile right now. All right, I'm already in trouble. Liv, I love how similar we are in our personalities. From our interest in Marvel comic universe to our fondness of cooking, sports, being crafty, and using our hands to build or fix things. We are both quick-witted and can be a bit punchy at times. But I've loved watching you grow and seeing you shine this year at school and on the soccer field. You've made us proud once again for your perseverance. Now that you will officially become a teenager tomorrow, I may need some infinity stones to get through the next couple of years. But just know, I love you, and you'll always be by my side. Sheesh. All right, now to embarrass the next one. Gavin, I don't know if we have any interests in common like Olivia and I have. I think there might be a few. Perhaps we watch a couple games, maybe we go attend a couple more in person, and maybe we talk once or twice about fantasy football. Part of me loves that you support my teams, while the other half pities that they're really not doing well right now. And so it's a rough patch for us, except for, of course, our beloved Houston Astros, who we only root for because they play the Braves. So let's go Mets. Good news is Uncle Stevie says Mazel Tov, and at this rate, by the time you graduate college, the president of basketball operations for the Mets still might be available for you. So keep your hopes up. Gavin, keep being you. Follow your head and follow your heart. You are well on your way to being a wonderful man, and I love you, G-Man. Gavin and Olivia, I love you both. I am proud of you both. I know I'm the hard parent, and I tend to be the disciplinarian. For those of you who don't know, D&O is my parenting mantra, discipline and order. As parents, need the discipline and the kids crave the order. But I feel validated for that when I see both of you here today. In front of God, family, friends, and the Jewish community. You are both smart, beautiful, caring, and loving adults. I'm glad to stand by you and also to watch you flourish from afar. Keep being you, as you both are wonderful people, and I know you will go far. I love you.
You guys on either side. You guys below. Let's use your time. Here. We're making a hug. You come on this side. Turn that way.
Got the big towels today.
All right, what are we doing?
And hold it upside.
Got it? Hi. Not long.
I can't.
Make it more taut. Step back. Nobody be afraid. It's not a wedding canopy. Especially you visiting Tennessee. All right. What we do is we wish for you three things here towards the end of our service, okay? We want you to live a life of Torah. And we don't just mean the scroll. We mean all these values and great qualities that you have, that you'll continue to perpetuate them and continue to be kind to one another and to the world. We wish you a life of chuppah, that one day, like your parents, you will find soulmates and have a more fulfilling life because you live it with a partner. And we wish you a life of ma'asim tovim, of doing good deeds, not only making you better people, but making our world a better place. And we wrap those three blessings in the most ancient threefold benediction we know. It goes like this.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
Olivia and Gavin, may God bless you both and keep you safe always.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's face shine upon you, and when that happens, may you smile.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's countenance shine upon you and through you, and may you and all of these people that love you be granted the greatest gift. May you always have a sense of shalom, a sense of wholeness, a sense of peace. Everybody says, Amen. All right, tired arms, they can go down. We conclude our service by putting our Torah away. We invite everyone to please rise. We're on page 256.
Do we go back down? Etzrayim hi lama chazikim ba v'tomcheha meushar dracheha darkenu am v'chol netivoteha shalom ashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu kekedem.
Page 252, I believe, in the middle.
282.
282 in the middle.
Aleinu l'shabech l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula l'yoseh b'reishit, shelo asanu k'gyoeh haratzon, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu ka'em, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anapnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
It's always here at the end of our service that we think about those people who still touch us through memory. We consider Marvin Eisenberg and Gary Schwartz. We think about Joe and Edith Eisenberg, Rosalind Eisenberg, Marion and Arnold Wallman, Sandy and Stuart Kornstein, Gail Wallman, Sid and Beth Schwartz, Leonard and Natalie Goldstein, Michael Lovejoy, all members of your family. We think of those who have passed recently, Lois Hershkowitz, Bruce Goldstein, Jerry Lee Kopelman, and Anita Ray Head. And we recall on the anniversaries of their deaths, Joan Pert, Phyllis Rothkopf, Daniel W. Gitchner, Sabina Rosenzweig, Isaac Rosenzweig, Ruth Silverman, Evelyn Lippy, Mr. Bernard Hindus, Roger H. Eppinger, Dr. Howard C. Barron, Mrs. Desiree Zamek, Selma Vivian Baer, Thea Godofsky, Lillian Coral, Elizabeth Hare Kurland, Bob Murray, Sarah Schwartz, and Ada P. Rosen. If there's any names I've neglected to mention or just ones you'd like to say aloud. On page 294, we find the words to Kadisha Tom, our mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'alma divra kirute v'yanli malchute, v'chayachon uv'yomachon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'izman karid imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach da'alam ulalmei almaya, yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechamata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlomo rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mroma u'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We ask as always that the source of peace send peace to all people who are mourning, comfort to all people who may be bereaved, and we say one final time together, amen. Okay. Lunch is definitely going to be ready because we're running a few minutes behind. We're going to end with a short kiddush and a motzi. You two come over here.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen. A short motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. We invite you to lunch in the social hall to a final song.
La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la.